And breathe. That was a bit stressful at the end, I'm not going to lie. I thought we were throwing the game away once again. A couple more bizarre substitutions, putting Fred on for the second time in a week where his impact was run around, give the ball away, commit fouls and get himself booked. And then the decision to put Harry Maguire on to take Sabitzer off when we were still controlling the midfield pretty well, to surrender the midfield with 5 minutes left. I have to admit I was very, very concerned. But at the end of the day, you can't complain about decisions that have resulted in a victory and a clean sheet. So for this instance, we'll say Erik ten Hag, well done, you got it right. But yeah, a little bit worrying at the end. But you know what? Overall, I was really pleased today. And the importance is that we've got a massive 3 points once again. It's just a shame that we can't be consistent at the moment. It seems we perform bang average to completely awful midweek and then play relatively well to really well at the weekend. So concerns going into the Brighton game if that trend continues, because obviously they've just won 6-0 and we've had a horrendous few midweek games against Sevilla and Tottenham. So concerns about that. But do you know what? Overall play, I was genuinely happy, and big credit has to go to the defensive line once again. And a hallmark of a great defensive performance is the fact that over the course of the 90 minutes, David De Gea only made one save. And against an Aston Villa side full of confidence, full of form, against one of the most informed strikers in the league in Ollie Watkins, to restrict him to no shots on target, the only shot on target all game coming from Alex Moreno after that potential penalty. There's never a penalty. That one save from De Gea in that situation, that's really standout performances from yet again Victor Lindelof and Luke Shaw. They look like an incredible centre-back partnership, considering that they were thrown together, given the circumstances. They look like they've been doing it for years, and I cannot be more proud of the pair of them. They look absolutely fantastic together. I hope that they can continue doing it for the rest of the season. I thought Malacia at left-back was absolutely outstanding, barring his bizarre decision to drag down whoever it was in the last minute of the game. I think it was Duran. He just dragged him down, gave away a free kick that they could have scored from, picked up a yellow card. Other than that, I thought Malacia was outstanding, and all the hype around Jacob Ramsey about the potential threat that he would pose and how well he played in the other game earlier on in the season. And you basically never heard his name, and that's because Dalot did his job properly. I was concerned when I didn't see Wan-Bissaka in the starting lineup, but actually when you analyse the way Aston Villa play and the fact that they don't actually use recognised wingers in their starting lineup, the decision to play Dalot and not Wan-Bissaka actually makes a lot of sense, because there weren't many one-on-one situations for Dalot to deal with. So Wan-Bissaka's specialist ability was not required against a team like Aston Villa that doesn't play wingers. And we've now rested Wan-Bissaka to, I think, potentially and should face Mitoma once again against Brighton in midweek. So really, really pleased with the defensive performance. I was a little concerned when I saw that Bruno Fernandes was going to play on the right-hand side for this game, but he performed absolutely incredibly once again. Yes, he was still wasted at times, but someone made the point during the game that where he scored his goal from, would Antony have necessarily been in that position? Because as we've spoken about in recent times, Antony on one side, Sancho on the other, they're not that willing to break their neck to get in at the back post. And Bruno Fernandes was breaking his neck to get in at the back post and put the ball into the net, albeit via a deflection, in a situation where, like we say, would Antony have even been there if that wasn't the case? So that decision worked out for Ten Hag as well. And it really felt good having such ball creative play. I can't even get the words out properly, but such good ball playing players on the pitch all at the same time. We had Bruno, Sancho, Eriksen, Sabitzer and Casemiro. And the way they were controlling the midfield, passing the ball around, especially in the first half, again, Aston Villa couldn't get the ball off us. So much control. The only problem is when you play like that, there wasn't a lot of pace. And Aston Villa exploited that very well, I thought, playing that high line, knowing that if we hit balls in behind, it was only really Rashford that we could target. And they caught Rashford offside on a fair few occasions. The only disappointment was every time he was caught offside, when the flag didn't go up, he still missed the chance. It was a rather disappointing performance from Rashford, I thought, in this game. But at the end of the day, he did the job. It was him that broke the line, kept himself onside on the goal. Brilliant header from Casemiro. Rashford got through. Excuse me. Poor shot, has to be said. Poor goalkeeping, I thought, from Martinez. Someone that's on my transfer target list for the summer, Emi Martinez. Poor push out from him, but Bruno, like we said, busted the gut to get in there and put the ball in the back of the net, and it was 1-0. And that was really the end of the game. I'm not being funny. We did look a little bit worrying at times in the second half, but all my concerns regarding how we play in second half of matches in terms of slow build-up play and being a little bit more casual and relaxed at the start of the second half, there was a touch of that, a smidge of that, but not really. And I think that's testament to the players that they did manage to carry on their first half momentum, playing the ball around, keeping the ball away from Aston Villa. And like I say, they did enough to keep Villa off the ball long enough to prevent them from creating enough chances to build up any serious momentum. And even when they were starting to create chances, like I say, the defensive performances from the back line were absolutely immaculate, bar, like I say, Malacia's foul and yellow card in literally the 94th minute of the game. I have zero complaints in that regard today. I'm very happy with the performance. I'm very happy, of course, with the result. Puts all the pressure back on all the other teams around us. Liverpool will obviously be playing Tottenham while you're watching this video, or perhaps you're watching this after that game is finished. I'm obviously hoping that that game now ends in a draw. If it does, I would say that sees us into the Champions League for next season. Brighton are obviously still a concern, but as long as we get at least a draw against them on Thursday, like I say, I think all threats are then neutralised. So really happy with the result, really happy with the performance, and fingers crossed we carry it over into the Brighton game on Thursday and round off the season with some more relaxed performances as we build up to the FA Cup final against Manchester City. So one more big game, one more big performance required, and then cruise control for a couple of weeks before we end the season against Manchester City. So well done, lads. Hopefully it will be the sign of things to come. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Actually, one more thing before I go, I have to mention, I thought the referee was absolutely outstanding today, and I'm going to get his name. I heard it a few times on commentary, but I'm going to get his name quickly. His name was Jared Gillett. Now, we always talk about this country, about how we think we know best, and the consistency of English referees in this country is appalling. But today, we had an Australian referee, and he was fantastic. Yes, he did let a lot of things go, but he was consistent for both sides. He was in control of situations when things got out of hand. He was quick to blow the whistle, get involved, stop any infighting. Booked players when he needed to book players. Really controlled the game well, let the game flow really nicely, and it was one of the best refereeing performances I've seen in a very long time. And if it means that we need to bring in referees from other countries to improve the standard of quality in this country, then I'm all for it, because Jarrett Gillett put in a fantastic performance today as referee, and I'm very pleased with that. So I'll round off with that. Like I was about to say, let me know in the comments your thoughts on today's match. Thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you very soon.